Hello there, welcome to saberduelgaming, where we always take the high ground. Today it's Halloween, spooky season has reached its crescendo, and you may well be tempted to turn to your favourite survival horror to get into the Halloween vibes. But before you do, today I'd like to introduce you to the true face of gaming horror. No, I am not being sarcastic. Despite our favourite little plumber being seen as the happy-go-lucky face of modern gaming, the reality is there are a whole ton of dark, deeply concerning and, quite frankly, terrifying conspiracies about this little guy on the internet, and most are not for the faint of heart. So this Halloween, let's take a look at some potential horrifying truths behind Super Mario Bros. The first rather unnerving Mario theory on our list was actually the motivation for this whole video, and it comes from a 1996 Super Mario 64 manga. This piece of art drawn for the project is creepy enough on its own. However, what it represents is even more disturbing. With our gameplay through the Super Mario Bros. Games, including multiple lives being used, the idea behind this art, or at least the theory, is that each of these mushrooms that we pick up as a seemingly innocent power-up has actually grown from the decaying corpse of a previous Mario. In case that seems a little bit far-fetched, remember that there are both red and green mushrooms scattered around the kingdom. One makes Mario Super Mario, the other giving him an extra life. And there's also a red Mario and a green Luigi. That's a rather unnerving coincidence, and quite frankly, it kind of adds up. This leads us on to our next theory, and a rather unfortunate one it is. You see, through the Super Mario Bros. Games, we see Mario consume these mushrooms that, well, may well have grown out of the corpse of a previous Mario. But once he does, he becomes twice as big, stronger, and far more resilient, able to take hits and still alive. But what if that's not what's actually happening? You see, the mushroom that Mario picks up in the game is actually based on a real-life mushroom, Amanita muscaria, assuming I've pronounced that one right. That's right, this is a real-life mushroom. And no, it doesn't create the ability to suddenly become twice your size and invulnerable. Instead, it causes hallucinations, maybe a sense of euphoria, and even dulls the central nervous system. Is that maybe why Mario doesn't feel pain until he's really hit by something? Is that why he sees himself as twice his size? Hell, is it why he sees other mushrooms walking around him? Perhaps all of this is going on in his own head. But even if this isn't some big psychedelic trip for Mario, our next theory maybe paints things in an even worse light. What if Mario is the villain of the game? Throughout this game series, we are told that Bowser has repeatedly abducted Princess Peach, that he wants to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, but that doesn't really make sense. He's got his own kingdom after all. What we actually see is Mario walking around, coming across tiny mushrooms, just like they have in the Mushroom Kingdom, and little Koopas, cute little tiny tortoises basically. And what does Mario do? He jumps on them, squashes them, and uses their corpses, their shells, to attack and kill other Koopas. Bear in mind, especially in the older games, the Koopas don't even target Mario. They don't walk towards him, they just walk backward and forward in a set routine. Mario goes out of his way to kill these little guys. Why? Well, of course, the justification is that he's doing this for the Mushroom Kingdom and the people of the Mushroom Kingdom, such as Toad. However, this is where things get even darker. You see, in the actual instruction booklet for the game, this is official now. It is stated that amongst the many things that Cooper did, he used some sort of magic to turn all of the people of the Mushroom Kingdom into bricks. That's right. That means that all of those bricks that Mario punches, shatters, jumps on, they're all made officially out of the Mushroom Kingdom's own people. Do we still think Mario's the good guy here? Well, even if he's not the villain, what if he's just another innocent pawn in someone else's sinister plans? And potentially, there's no one more sinister in the Super Mario Bros. Games than Princess Peach. You see, there's every chance that Mario is in a strange place. He doesn't know what the blocks are, he doesn't know what these Koopas and Goombas are. He is just an unwitting pawn of Princess Peach's conquest. We keep hearing that Bowser has repeatedly taken her away, but how can he actually do that? It was pretty plausible in the first game when we saw Princess Peach as relatively helpless, but as we've seen in Super Smash Bros. Melee and a whole bunch of other games, she is hecka powerful, and quite frankly, if she doesn't want to be taken, she ain't gonna be, especially not time and time and time again. As far as this conspiracy theory goes, what if Peach is the one who's actually invading Bowser's kingdom? Maybe she got caught, or maybe she just sets herself up. Somehow she always finds a way to let Mario know. And then Mario goes on a one-man wrecking spree, taking out every Koopa or Goomba innocently walking around to make sure that Princess Peach's perfect little Mushroom Kingdom is kept for the people she likes. So maybe Mario is the villain. Maybe Mario is the unwitting pawn of an evil princess. Maybe he's on some psychedelic trip, unaware of what's really going on. And quite frankly, maybe that psychedelic trip is fueled by eating his own reincarnation in mushroom form. But there's one really dark and quite frankly unnerving conspiracy theory yet to hear. What if none of this is happening? And what if Mario is moments from death? Think about what we see. Mario, the lead star despite having a taller, more handsome brother. The man who gets to be with the princess. The man who we see driving race cars, becoming a doctor, a tennis star, a fight star, competing in the Olympics. And of course, being the hero that always saves the day. That's a pretty impressive resume for someone who is, well, a plumber from Brooklyn. Quite frankly, it doesn't even sound remotely achievable. However, what we do know is, and see in multiple pieces of media, Mario working down amongst the pipes. Is it possible that instead of achieving all of these ridiculous accolades, Mario instead, on an unfortunate trip into the sewers, falls, bangs his head, or potentially breathing in spores from all of those deeply psychedelic mushrooms, is lying there waiting to die, fantasizing, dreaming about all the achievements he wished he'd had, competing in Wembley or some Mushroom Kingdom version of it, taking on hammer-throwing villains, saving the princess, becoming the hero, becoming the doctor, being the big brother he always wanted to be. As train of thoughts take us, this one is pretty grim, but it adds up. However, the other option, of course, is that this is all just a load of silly conspiracies that I found on the internet. And Mario is exactly what we know him to be. The hero, the superstar. Princess Peach is beyond repute. We know Bowser's the baddie, right? We know that all of these are just conspiracies and theories. Right? But what do you think? Comment your thoughts down below. Let me know, do you think any of these conspiracy theories maybe hold a little bit of weight? Or is it all just nonsense? Until next time, have a fantastic Halloween, and as always, take the high ground.